time in Sikh sources. And indeed, as Ranjit Singh is lying dying with a stroke, unable to articulate, his courtiers are fighting out what will happen to the stone. But the stone has disappeared. Ranjit Singh has said he wants it to go to the Jagannath temple at Puri, but his treasurer has other ideas.
Thank you very much. So William, in his typically masterful way, has given you this whole sweep of human history, and I'm just going to narrow down focus a little bit to that part of history which shows how India lost the diamonds to the British. I think the story that perhaps is the open wound in this room. So as William says, Ranjit Singh is dead. His last wishes were that the diamond go to Jagannath Puri to be in the head of the eyeglass there. But the treasurer that William was talking about, Mr. Beliram, he decides this is not the king's gift to give. The Kohinoor is far more important than one man's present to a temple. And so he's hidden it away, even though he knows that he could conceivably be tortured to death to reveal its location. He will not do so. Even though he is having curses rain down upon his head from a whole heap of angry Brahmins who want this diamond for their god, he hides it away. He hides it away so that he can give it to the next in line to the throne. In the 4 years that follow the death of Ranjit Singh, this idea of the Kohinoor's curse comes to life. And I'll show you why. William wasn't kidding when he said this is very Game of Thronesy. The embers of Ranjit Singh's fire are cooling. The diamond is passed to his eldest son, a man called Karak Singh. Now, Karak Singh's not very well thought of in the court of Lahore. A travelling Brit who is a wonderful woman. If you get a chance to read the letters of Emily Eden, do so. She's deliciously rude about everybody she meets, and particularly rude about Karak Singh, who she calls an opium-eating blockhead. And there are very few people in the court who disagree with her. He's arrogant, he likes women, he likes getting boozed up and drugged up, and he doesn't really care very much for governing his empire. And so it isn't long at all before his advisors decide he must go. And they decide to do him away with a slow poison, a slow mixture of painful death this is they have in store for Karak Singh. First of all, they add this sort of compound of lead and rust camphor, and they put a little bit in his food every day. And at first it just mirrors the effects of being drunk. So he stumbles a little more than usual. He slurs a little more than usual. And when it's too late to do anything for him, his skin is breaking out in lesions, his joints are filling with blood, he feels as if his skin is burning and he wants to pull it off, and he is resigned to his bed for almost a year. He dies a miserable death. It is almost a mercy when he actually breathes his last. And then after him, a man who people deem quite sensible, quite deserving to wear the Kohinoor on his arm, is going to come to the throne, and Lahore rejoices. It is Karak Singh's eldest son, the man you see here on the left in the yellow picture. His name is Naunihar Singh, the Crown Prince. 18 years of age, handsome, strong, noble, untainted by the kind of scandal his father has brought on the Lahore Darbar, doesn't even make it past his father's funeral. He's coming back from washing his hands after the cremation in the river, and to get back to his own palace, the palace which is going to be the seat of his empire, he has to pass through a garden called the Hazuri Bagh, a garden, incidentally, which Ranjit Singh has built in commemoration of his seizure of the Kohinoor diamond that William spoke so beautifully about. And he passes under this stone archway in the Hazuri Bagh, and mysteriously, inexplicably, a large block of stone falls from on high and hits him on the head. Now, this just sounds bad, right? But it's not catastrophic. There are eyewitnesses present at the time who say the man gets up, is in a pretty bad mood with a pretty bad headache, but is capable of walking back to his his quarters, even asks for water. The man who we know this from is a famous mercenary in the court of Ranjit Singh called Alexander Gardner. And it is on Alexander Gardner's insistence that he's stretchered to the palace. Something very strange happens in the short time that he's in the palace, and the court physician is sent to look at him. Because when the court physician arrives, this is not a man that he sees who is capable of walking away, let alone asking for water. He sees the man's skull is entirely shattered, and there is grey matter all over the sheets. Nonihal Singh dies later that night, and it is kept secret for a while, because nobody knows what is going to happen to the succession. If you lose, to lose one Maharaja, carelessness. To lose two, something Oscar Wilde, fill it in. But, you know, the Nonihal's mother decides she's going to shut the citadel of Lahore up because she doesn't want the kingdom and the Kohinoor to pass to one of the other sons of one of the other queens who is married to Ranjit Singh. So she locks the doors. She just needs a little bit more time because her daughter-in-law is pregnant. Nonihal's wife is pregnant with a child. Please God, she says, let this be a boy, let it stay within the line. And the child is born. And the child is a boy. And the child is born dead. So she seals the kingdom in panic. But it's too late. Another son of Ranjit Singh is already on the move. From his kingdom in Batala, you have this gentleman over here on the bottom left. So this is Chand Kaur, the Dowager Queen, who locks the doors of the citadel, trying desperately to hold on to the kingdom. And this is Sher Singh, Maharaja Sher Singh, who marches on Lahore. He lays siege to the city, and he causes devastation to the people living outside the city gates until they are hammering on the door, saying, please, our queen, open the door, let him in. We're not going to survive this for much longer. And so she does. She opens the gates on the condition that she is allowed to leave with her daughter-in-law in peace, and she must in turn promise that she is never going to challenge for the throne of Lahore again. And it's all very courteous. Sher Singh says, leave. She says, thank you very much. Best of luck with Lahore. And disappears. Now Sher Singh, though, knows that as long as this woman is alive, there is every possibility that an army might rise on her behalf for her claim. So he pays off her maids. One day, in the royal palace, Chand Kaur is sitting having her hair brushed, and instead of using brushes, her maids produce bricks, and they cave her skull in, and she dies much the same way as her son Nonihal. Sher Singh has the women, I mean, this is an added gory detail which I don't normally get to, but since he's been so gory this evening, I feel it is my duty to compete with this. But the maids who club their queen to death have their tongues ripped out and their hands cut. No, they have their hands cut off, their fingers cut off. They're dragged before the king, and there is a wry comment in one of the court documents at the time that says, actually, it would have been better if Sher Singh would have pulled their tongue out because they leave the kingdom screaming, he made us do it. Now, Sher Singh does not survive much longer. His kinsmen, the Sandamalias, come to the palace, and they say, Your Majesty, we know that you love hunting, and Sher Singh does love hunting. He's a great masculine, testosterone-driven figure of a man. And they say, we've got for you one of the best new guns, would you like to have a look? And he would like to have a look, and bang, by accident, it goes off in his chest, supposedly. The Sandamalias are very hard pushed to explain how, bang, it then goes off in his face, and how his son is found hacked to pieces elsewhere in the palace, and how the vizier is found murdered days later. So as you can see, in the 4 years after Ranjit Singh's death, the Kohinoor is surrounded by a lake of blood. Punjab has lost 3 Maharajas, 2 crown princes, if you count the stillborn child, 1 dowager queen, 1 prime minister, and countless aristocrats. Is there any wonder that this idea that the gem is cursed starts to take hold of the people of Punjab? Now,